Alrighty, folks, you know I'm feeling great on a hump day Wednesday morning because chairman members cashed in on, yet again, 5 more premium selections on my premium site yesterday. That seems to be the magic number. We had the T-Wolves, Knicks, Celtics, Central Florida in college basketball, as well as the Florida Panthers in the NHL, and of course, the only way you could have accessed all of those winners is to join my full access, all-inclusive chairman package. I'm also 3-0, my last 3 board member tier package picks on that very same page. And of course, I'll explain a little bit more about all of that in just a moment. But before we go ahead and move on, just want to take a quick time out and welcome you to my NBA free pick video here today for Wednesday, March 13th, 2024. Happy Wednesday to you. Happy hump day to you. Weekend's right around the corner. We are halfway there. My name is Brock Page, and I've been dishing out free sports picks right here on YouTube since 2016. And if you want to see which one of these free picks on this video that I actually like the best, you may want to think about signing up for my full access, all-inclusive chairman package. Now, chairman members get access to every single premium selection of mine, every single package, every single day for the next 30 days. And as an added bonus, you also get access to my Chairman podcast absolutely free. It's included with your purchase. Now, you may be wondering what the difference is between what I do on my premium site and what I do on these free videos here. Well, what I do with the free videos is I'll handicap the entire slate of games in any given sport, side, and total. What I do on my premium site is, well, I actually share with you which one of these free plays on these videos that I actually like the best. Now, we're 3-0 in our last 3 extra daily picks, 2-0 in our last couple of NBA tier package plays. And finally, folks, we are once again 3-0 in our last 3 board member tier package plays. And the good news is we have picks going off in all of those packages here today, and they're all included with your purchase of the chairman membership. I currently have over 1,350 members who are signed up and active on my premium site right now. And once again, it's called patreon.com/BrockPage. And with that, folks, we're going to go ahead and jump into some free content here today. And we're going to start off with the Nets at the Magic, 7 o'clock Eastern tip-off. Orlando's minus 6.5, totals 206. Now, I'll tell you, the Magic plays some really tough defense, one of the toughest teams to score against at home in the NBA. They also lead the entire league in defensive boards per game at home. Wendell Carter, he leads the roster in rebounds per contest. Jalen Suggs averages the most steals. And they're facing a Nets team who's struggled on the road this season. Don't really know how else to put it. They just do not win a lot of games when they travel. Out of 31 ball games away from the Barclays Center, the Nets got the W only 10 times. And unfortunately for them, they've struggled grabbing rebounds, especially on the road. They're in the bottom 5 in the East in defensive boards per game while traveling. Now, total-wise, the Magic saw unders recently against the likes of the Hawks, Magic, and T-Wolves. And out of Orlando's last 9 ball games, the under cashed in all of those contests except for one. Give me the Magic minus 6.5, under 206. Next game, Raptors, Pistons, 7 o'clock Eastern tip-off. Detroit's minus 3.5, totals 233. And despite being favored by a bucket, well, I just can't lay any type of points with a team who's 42 games below 500. I mean, if you're that bad, it's tough to lay 3.5 with you because for some reason the Pistons just can't stop fouling on defense. They're putting more shooters to the stripe than any other organization in the league. And of course, because of that, they're allowing more free throws a night than any other team. And unfortunately for them, well, the road is really the only place where Toronto can score points. The Raptors are somehow in the top 5 in the East in points per game away from home. Now, injury-wise, the Raptors do have a handful of injuries that make this line favor Detroit. It's Pirtle, Boucher, Barrett, Barnes, and Carton, who are all scratched they're all sitting out here today for the Raptors. Meanwhile, Quickly and Trent are day-to-day with lower body injuries, so you're going to have to keep an eye on them. Meanwhile, for Detroit on the other side, bad news for them as All-Star Thompson is day-to-day with some respiratory problems. I think it's asthma, they were saying. I don't know if it's asthma or not, but he is not breathing well, apparently, and there's a good chance he will not suit up here today. He's officially listed as questionable. Now, 3 out of Detroit's last 4 outings did get over the total. Overs against the likes of the Mavericks, Nets, and Heat. Meanwhile, 6 out of Toronto's last 9 contests got over the line themselves. Give me the Raptors plus 3.5 over 233. Next game, little divisional action here. Bulls, Pacers, 7:30 Eastern tip-off. Indiana's minus 3.5, totals 232. And I'll tell you, I do like this number here. Seems pretty generous. The Pacers have been pretty damn tough to slow down when they have the ball in their hands. Indy leads the NBA in shooting from the field. And because of that, well, they are the league's top scorers. They're averaging a league-best 123 points a game. And unfortunately for Chicago on the other side, well, they're having a tough time guarding the 3-ball. The Bulls allow more 3-pointers a game than any other roster except for one. Meanwhile, on the offensive side of things, well, that's been their biggest issue this season. They're just not built for a track meet. The Bulls are a bottom 10 field goal shooting team, and they're averaging fewer first-quarter points than any other roster except for one. Really getting themselves behind the 8-ball early. Now, injury-wise, Phillips and Craig are questionable for the Bulls. Johnson and McDermott day-to-day for the Pacers. And when it comes to the total, Indy's gone 14-6 of the over against Eastern Conference opponents at home. Meanwhile, the Bulls saw overs recently against the likes of the Warriors, Jazz, and Cavaliers. Give me the Pacers minus 3.5 over 232. Next game, Nuggets Heat, 7:30 Eastern start time. Denver's minus 4.5, totals 215. And of course, if you've been watching the NBA, you know Denver's been hitting on all cylinders recently. They're 9-1 straight up in their last 10, and they've been pretty aggressive getting to the basket. These guys are making 50% of their field goal attempts as a team. Nikola Jokic, he's currently leading the roster in scoring, 4th in the NBA in rebounds and assists. Meanwhile, Jamal Murray's 2nd on the roster in point production, and he's drilling 42% of his 3 balls. Now, they're facing a Miami club who lost their last 3 straight, and they're certainly not built for a track meet. Miami's in the bottom 3 in the NBA in field goals made per game. When it comes to scoring late, well, they're also in the bottom 3 in fourth-quarter scoring. Now, injury-wise, Kevin Love and Tyler Hero are out for the Heat. And when it comes to the total, Miami saw their last 3 straight stay under the number, 7-3 to the under in their last 10. Meanwhile, Denver's gone 63% to the under as the official road team. Give me Denver minus 4.5, under 215. Next contest, Hornets, Grizzlies, 8 o'clock Eastern start time. Charlotte's minus 2, totals 205.5. And even though the Hornets are favored in this one, I think they're going to have a tough time getting on the scoreboard. They're averaging a league worst 105 points a night on the road. And out of 33 contests away from Charlotte, the Hornets got the W only 7 times. Now, they're facing a Memphis squad who's been tough to score against in the FedEx Forum. As a matter of fact, the Grizzlies are in the top 5 in the West in defensive points per game at home. And in their last 10 ball games, the Grizzlies covered against the likes of Philadelphia, Minnesota, and the Clippers. Now, injury-wise, there are a handful of guys who are banged up for Memphis. That's why you're seeing them as the underdog. Rose, Rose, Smart, Clark, Bain, Zaire Williams, and Scottie Pippen, all still inactive. Meanwhile, Jackson, Watanabe, Stevens, and Vince Williams are day-to-day. Meanwhile, for Charlotte on the other side of things, they've got a few guys on the injury report as well. Curry, Martin, Ball, McGowans, and Mark Williams are out for them. And Trey Mann is also listed as questionable. Now, 7 out of Charlotte's last 10 head-to-head gatherings with the Grizzlies did get over the total. So if you're into historical trends, plenty of overs to go around. And of course, Memphis saw overs recently against the likes of the Sixers, Nets, and Timberwolves. Give me Memphis +2 over 205.5. Next game, Cavaliers, Pelicans, 8 o'clock Eastern tip-off. New Orleans is -7, totals 217. And even though the Pels are favored by several baskets, they haven't been overly crisp on D. They're in the bottom 5 in the West in three-pointers allowed per game, really struggling guarding from beyond the perimeter here. Meanwhile, on the offensive side of things, on the other end of the court, they've had a hard time scoring late. They're actually in the bottom 10 in fourth quarter point production. Unfortunately for them, they're facing a Cleveland squad who plays some of the toughest defense in the league. They're actually in the top 3 in field goals allowed per game. And because of that, the Cavs are giving up just 109 points a night on average. Now, injury-wise, Jerome, Wade, Strus, and Mobley are still out for Cleveland. Donovan Mitchell's also questionable with that knee injury. 4 out of the Cavs' last 7 ball games fell under the total. They're also 63% to the under as the official road team. Now, the Pelicans' last 8 ball games, the undercast in all of those except for one. Give me the Cavaliers +7, under 217. Next game, Warriors, Mavericks, 8:30 p.m. East. Dallas is -7, totals 236. Now, the Mavs are on a 3-game winning streak, and they won't have to deal with Steph Curry here today. Curry's still out for the Warriors with that ankle injury. And that's certainly bad news for Warriors fans because, you got to go shot for shot when it comes to facing the Mavs. You got to be built for a track meet because Dallas makes more three-pointers a game than any other roster except for one. And because of that, well, the Mavs are a top 5 point-producing team in the Western Conference. Luka Doncic averages a league-high 34.6 points a game. He's 3rd in the league in assists as well. Meanwhile, Kyrie Irving's drilling 41% of his three-pointers. And unfortunately for Golden State, even when they're healthy, they've struggled in their in-conference games. They've got a .435 win percentage against the West this year. And a lot of that is due to, fourth quarter collapses defensively. The Warriors give up more fourth quarter points than any other roster besides one. Now, total-wise, oddly enough, Golden State saw unders in 8 out of their last 10. They're also 60% to the under as the official road team. Now, the Mavs saw unders recently against the likes of the Bulls, Heat, and Sixers. Give me the Mavericks -7, under 236. Next game, Hawks, Blazers, 10 o'clock Eastern start time. Atlanta's -4, totals 219. And even though they are favored by a couple of baskets, the Hawks have had a tough time covering on the road this season. Atlanta's covered in just 35% of their contests away from home. And most of that is due to some poor defensive effort. The Hawks are allowing more fourth quarter points than any other team in the NBA. They're taking on a Portland squad who's done a pretty nice job covering the point spread recently. They covered in 5 out of their last 7. They do have a winning record against the point spread facing Eastern Conference opponents. And I'll tell you, the strength of this Portland team, despite their struggles, has been defensive play at times. These guys are in the top 5 in the West in three-pointers allowed per game. They're also one of the better fourth quarter defensive teams in the conference as well. They're in the top 5 in the West in fourth quarter points allowed. Now, injury-wise, Grant and Rupert are questionable for the Blazers. Brogdon, Walker, and Sharp are still out. Meanwhile, for the Hawks, Trae Young is still inactive after hand surgery or finger surgery, something to do with his appendages. I'm pretty sure it's a finger. Anyway, Okongwu and Buffkin still inactive. Also, Jalen Johnson. He's been downgraded to doubtful. He's battling an ankle injury. Now, the Hawks saw overs recently against the likes of the Knicks, Nets, and Raptors. They're also 7-3 to the over in their last 10 gatherings with Portland. So, Once again, if you're into historical trends, certainly want to think about that one there. Now, 6 out of the Blazers' last 10 outings got over the total themselves. Give me Portland +4 over 219. Next game, next and final game for the video. It's going to be in the Lakers-Kings contest. That'll be a 10 o'clock Eastern start time. LA's -1.5, totals 238 and a hook. And speaking of the total in this one, the Lakers saw overs in their last 3 straight. They also went 6-3 to the over in their last 9. They've gone 65% to the over this year as the official road team. Meanwhile, Sacramento saw overs recently against the likes of San Antonio, the Lakers, and Minnesota. They also went 63% to the over this year in the Golden One Center. Give me the over 238.5. And with that, folks, now it's time for our quick pick recap. Give me Orlando -6.5, under 206. Raptors +3.5, over 233. I'm 3-0 my last 3 board member tier package picks on my premium site. The link is in my bio. Pacers -3.5, over 232. Nuggets -4.5, under 215. Grizzlies +2, over 2. Let's try that again. Grizzlies +2, over 205.5. Cavaliers +7, under 217. Mavericks -7, under 236. Blazers +4, over 219. And give me the over 238.5 in the Lakers-Kings game. And with that, folks, that's going to do it for me. Don't forget to check me out on my premium site. Now, if you do end up getting a membership here today on patreon.com/BrockPage, just a friendly reminder, you're going to get access to that membership every single day for the next 30 days. And as an added bonus, you're also going to get access to all of my cheaper memberships absolutely free. They're going to be included with your purchase. That's why I always tell folks that Chairman membership, it's a full access, all-inclusive package. It gives you access to every single premium selection of mine, every single package, every single day for the next 30 days. And as an added bonus, you also get access to my Chairman podcast absolutely free. It's included with your purchase. But most importantly, guys, got to thank you for joining me right here on the free video. Really hope you enjoyed all this great free content, all this great free information. With that said, folks, happy Wednesday to you. Happy hump day to you. And I look forward to seeing you later on today on my premium site at patreon.com/BrockPage.